Welcome to another Stage Analysis video. It's Sunday the 26th of January 2025. Lots to get through today's video, but wanted to start with a look at more new features that have been added to the website this week. We've been going at a blazing pace at the moment with adding the extra features. So we've added a few more filters this week, as well as a whole new relative strength section up here. So starting off with the stage change filter here. Last week we added the stage filter, which you can get the individual stages and filter them via their substages. So if you're looking for the early stage 2 breakouts, the stage 2A as it's known in the substages, you can just click on that and select through. If you want to look at all stage 2s, including the ones below their various moving averages, you can go through all of the twos and select all of those. You want to get rid of, you just want to see the ones that have changed on the week, then you can get rid of the minus values here, and you want the 2A, the 2, the 2B, and now with this new filter, the stage change filter here, you can then go into this, and we've got the broad stages and the sub stages. So these do two different things. You've got changed and unchanged for each. So if you're looking for stocks that have changed from stage 1 to any kind of stage 2 in the next week, then you want to use the broad stage here. So just stage and click change. So you can see at the moment it says 1359 that are in either stage 2A, 2 or 2B. So we do change this week. You can see there's only 126 now. So whereas if we do it by the sub stages and do change by that, then that includes stuff that's moved from, they might have been in 2 minus and come back into 2 again, or they might have been in 2B minus and move back to 2B again, etc. Or they might have been in another sub-stage. So with that, you can see we've got 372, as that includes the sub-stages. So for the general purposes of this, the main one you'll be using in order to look for changes between stage 1 and stage 2, or stage 3 back to making stage 2 continuations again, is the changed value here. So they're in stage 2 again, and they changed from either stage 1 or stage 3 or even stage 4 the previous week back to stage 2, as sometimes you can obviously flip from 4 straight to 2. So you can see here this gives us a starting point of 126 stocks. So we can then use our quality filters. So normally would start with getting rid of anything under 300 million. So plus mini over 300 million, and knocks it down to 83. Generally with stage 2 breakouts, we want the candle on the week to be a strong close. So something like this, maybe with a little bit of wick on top. You're not looking for something that's had a squat candle like this. So we're looking for anything that's closed in the upper 75% of the range. So in this kind of area here, ideally you want to have a strong weekly candle. So with that, we use the weekly closing range, which is this one, and then we do close in the upper quarter of the bar. You can obviously change that with a little bit more variations through here, over 70%, over 60%, etc., if you want to fine tune it a little bit more. But closing the upper quarter of the bar generally gets the higher quality closes there, as everything is 75% or greater on the candle. So we're down to 60 now, and then you want to filter that further. We use the average weekly volume here, so over 1.5 million is the average of 300,000 shares a day. So that gets us back down to 45 here. So you can now see we've got stage stocks that changed into stage 2 this week that have market cap of over 300 million. They closed in the upper quarter of their bar, and their average volume of over 1.5 million a week. You can obviously filter that further by going up the various ranges. You only want stuff that's large cap or greater, then we're only down to 16 stocks then. So that's one way that you can use the stage change filter there, and then you can quickly look back through these and find obviously the various early stage 2s and what else is going on, bonds that are coming back into stage 2 continuations, etc. So that's one way to use that. You can obviously flip that and look at if you're looking for stage 4, so you can keep the same settings there, except for you want the close in the lower quarter of the bar instead, and then you want the stage changed with that, and then go to stage 4, 4 and 4B, and then as you can see, we've got not very many actually this week moved into that. So Airbnb, for example, here we have a flip through to that, just making a new stage 4 continuation breakdown attempt there. It was back in stage was attempting to move into stage 1 and flip back to 4 again last week. So you can have a look through those kind of things, and then that's a quick way to use the stage change filters. Another new filter we've added is the momentum. So this has 3 settings, either positive, neutral or negative momentum. So this is another way that you can do either quality filtering, or you can, when you're looking at stages, or you can use it even on its own or with the SATA scores, etc. So you want something with positive momentum this week. You can see we've only got 1,771 out of the total 5,087. You've got 2,020 that are neutral, and you've got 1,165 that are negative. So this can, if you're looking for stocks that are in stage 2 already, you might want something that's in stage 2 and then it's got neutral momentum. So we'll come back through to here, we'll look at stage 2. You might look at late stage 2 as well. You can see we've got 413 results there. So if we just go back to stage 2, and then you can use your various other quality filters, and this will get you stuff that's generally tightening up in stage 2 then. So as I said, an extra quality filter there. Right, next thing to talk about is the new section. I'll do a little bit. Is this new section up the top here, relative strength. So added that this week, which has got the 4 areas at the moment via the GICS industry groups, sub-industries and sectors. So if we go to the sub-industries, you can see we've got a rankings table here, which goes for all of the sub-industries at the moment that have the relative strength rankings. There are 163 in total, but 4 of those don't have one. They've only got minor amount of stocks in them, and obviously the stocks drop in and out of them, so the classifications change over time. At the moment there's 159 that are active here. We've got a button over here where you can jump between the 4 different types without having going back to the menu. So for a quick switch, you want to go to industries, you want to go to groups, or you want to go to sectors. You can just use the jump to and quickly flick through. From here you can see we've got if you hover over the sector name and click on it, you get a panel that comes out, shows the sector chart and the stocks with their SATA scores at the moment. I will include the stages in this soon as well. Got some updates to make since we've started adding the stages into the screener across the site. You can then click through from here to go to an actual page itself where you can get the breadth information, and again more information on the group, sector, whatever you're looking at. So again, if we jump back to the sub-industries here, you can see at the moment independent power producers and energy is our leading group. So based on the Mansfield relative strength. So Mansfield relative strength here is what we use for relative strength on the site. It's basically the stock or whatever instrument it is, in this case the sub-industry, divided by the S&P 500, and a 52-week moving average is applied to that, and it's the difference between that, basically percentage difference between the moving average and the ratio. So basically, you higher the score on this, the better. And when we talk about crossing above the 0 line, you can see when it's below 0, it's negative, and when it's above 0, it's positive. So at the moment, out of the 159, we've got 48 or 47 of these sub-industries that are outperforming versus the market in terms of relative strength. So this immediately orders it by the rankings with this. So independent power producers and energy is our leading group. You can see very, very strong chart. You've got the likes of VST, GEV. So if we click through to the page quickly, ordered by market cap, you've got VST, GEV, NRG, TLN. All of these have had exceptional runs recently. Just quickly flick through to the charts. That's VST. You can see GEV is a newer one, and NRG, and TLN. All of these having exceptionally strong moves in stage 2. So you can come back into here. So a quick way when you're going through these is when you're on a Mac, you hold down the command key. Actually, no, first when you open it, click open it normally first, and if you want to open individual stocks or the actual page itself without leaving this page, so you open new windows, hold down the command key, then click on that, and then if you press command tab, Control tab, CTRL tab, then you can flick through to that next page, and if you press Control Shift tab, you can go back, so you can quickly flick between the pages and keep them active. And so you could open up multiple different ones that you were looking at and then keep them open without having to constantly go back and forth in the actual using the browser back and forth buttons and keeping you in your place, etc. So with this relative strength sub-industries, industries, groups and sectors, we have it, as I said, sorted by relative strength initially. But we've got these other columns here that show the price change on the week in terms of percentage change. So you've got 1 week change, 4 week change, 13 week change, 26 and 52. So basically 1 year, 6 months, 3 months, a month-ish, and the 1 week change. So we're looking 13 week is your quarterly, so goes really well with obviously how the stocks move with their earnings cycles, etc. But for generally, you want to look at 1 week change. If you click on that twice, it will reorder it and it will show you which one had the strongest move on the week. So heavy electrical equipment this week was the strongest moving group. So you can see in here there was a few of these that had SATA changes. If we actually click through from here, either into the group or go back to the screen. I'm going to add a button in here, potentially either at the top or on the page, which will take you back to the screen, as then you can see at the moment we haven't got the percentage changes in this column and the stages, so you can get a little bit more detail on what's been going on in the group. So for example, if I come back to the screener here now, we go to heavy electric vehicles. So I'm going to make a one-click button that takes us back to this and selects this. So where are you? Heavy electrical equipment. So basically with one click, it will bring you back here. It will open up this, and then you can then use the various other filters on the table. So this orders it by SATA score and relative strength, and you can change that to by market cap. But you can see the 1 week changes in the group. So NNE, for example, and BE were the two strongest movers this week, and they were both in the watch list on Tuesday night. Was the last time they were both in the watch list. So if I go to the daily chart on this, for example, you can see this was highlighted on Tuesday in here. Let's get rid of that. When it was looking like this within the base structure. So before it broke out, so had a good, very strong 80% week this week, and then BE doing the same kind of thing again. We go to the daily chart to have a little bit of a closer look on this, change it to a log scale. You can see that the breakout move. So Tuesday was highlighted at this point through here, so when it was still within the broader structure here. So just attempting to break, we'll see this flag pattern through there. So basically both of these very strong moves this week, and that's why, big reason why this group is moving so well, as well as PSIX here, another one which has had an exceptionally strong stage 2 advance. As you can see, again, look at quickly flick down to the daily chart on this. It's been moving really well, so pushing to new highs at the end of the week now. So come back into here. So that's if you're looking at it on a 1 week change, you can quickly go through here. So we can see coal and consumable fuels had a good week as well. So it's rank 159, so all the way at the bottom of the table at the moment. If we look at that, that's because it's been basically going sideways for the last few years. It has had a very strong move in the last few months. We saw stage 2 breakout attempts in multiple uranium and coal stocks as it started to move back from stage 4 back into stage 2 again. Since had a pullback with a bit more of a neutral position here again. So there's potential it could make a further continuation again attempt. As you can see here, 1 week change. You can see all in the SATA scores moving up here with these uranium stocks having some positive moves on the week. So we quickly flick through to those. Uroy, for example, strong week through there. You've got UEC still in stage 2 here, moving back above its 10-week moving average, and CCJ in stage 3 at the moment, but could move back to stage 2. We need to get back above that level through there in order to move back to 2 again. So at the moment it attempted to move back into 2 and roll back over again, so it's got to retake the level back up here in order to move back to stage 2 again. But you can see some near-term strength in some of those uranium stocks as well. So this relative strengths rankings here, really useful way to see the changes going on a a 1 week, 4 week, 13 and 26 and 52 week basis. I am going to be making further enhancements to this. We're going to be able to sort by the sectors, just show the sectors. I might break it out, might have a button that breaks it out into a separate sections all on the same page as well. I wanted to do a ranking sort of heat map version of it as well, where you start with the names of the groups, and then basically each one of these along here, each week will be a rank. So you have the ranks just going across through time, and then these will all be color coded, so you can visually see where the strength is and where strength is changing just from glancing at the chart. So it won't need to be as big a chart of this, as it'll just be colored squares. So we'll be able to do a tighter version of the chart. And a few other ideas with this as well. We're going to be having stages and the SATA scores for these as well. And then with the stages and SATA scores, I'll probably have multiple tabs where you can look at it on the percentage change, and where you can look at it from the stage analysis perspective with the stages and the relative strength, etc. So you can just flick between those. And with that, we'll be able to go back to the screener, and I'll add, so we come back into the screener here. So I'll add an extra few filters based around what's going on in the relative strength table. So you'll be able to actually screen by the relative strength changes and the stages of the groups. So you'll be able to look for a sub-industry. So if you want to look for a sub-industry that's in stage 2, for example, so it won't have the names of this, it will have the stages, again, similar to this. So you'll be able to pick that sub-industry in stage 2A, and then that will then filter out all of the stocks in that. So with the sub-industries, there's going to be lots of 0 results for that, so you'll probably be better off starting on higher levels like sectors and industries. I need to add the groups back into here as well. So this is the new changes with that. So as I said, you just click on these, and then opens up the chart, and you can quickly see what's going on here. So lots more changes to come to this. This is just the initial view, but as you can see, really useful for finding stocks quickly, what's changing on the week, what's weak. So, and then obviously on a longer term basis as well. I think I will highlight the changes over the different weeks by color coding them. So for example, this is the strongest for the last. These will be color coded, and then these will probably be color coded or marked out like this, so you can see where the strongest moves are over the different periods, as that will obviously change. There might be some that are further down the list. So lots to do on this area still, but I think a really useful addition on top of obviously the already excellent tools that we've got in the market breadth section for these, where you can get the stage analysis technical attribute scores. You can break it down by the different areas, so how they're doing. So, and then obviously the whole market, whether it's above the 30-week moving average, etc. So this is lots and lots of tools based around the group analysis that with this. So what we stage analysis relies on what we call the forest to the trees approach. So these tools are gradually making it easier and easier for us to apply the forest to the trees approach in more detail. So hopefully you like those, and let's move on to the next